We are back, and it's Sunday, not a normal day, but there's some things going on this weekend, so we had to kind of wait. Kind of let's talk about those, see what's going on, right?
Yep, yep. Got All Star Weekend. We had the remake of possibly the greatest comedy ever
Great.
created. And we're going to talk about that. That's what we're going to talk about today. Uh, where do you want to start? I know we got we got a lot of things to talk about. We probably need to go ahead and start. Let
Yeah.
you speak.
You know what? Let's talk about the movie. I think both of us, probably hold Coming to America as the probably the single most greatest movie ever out there. I've probably seen it 36 times, fully front and back. Hell, we seen both of them this weekend. Didn't even realize it. So what do you think about the second one? What are your thoughts?
So I liked the second one. Now, I will say this to all the haters because I've been seeing all the comments. It's been kind of even, but once again, as you said earlier, Coming to America, the original, is by far my favorite comedy movie. If you were to tell me, hey, you were going to be on a deserted island, you had a VCR or a DVD player, and you only got to pick 5 movies, Coming to America would be one of those 5 movies. Now, that being said, I was not expecting Coming to America 2 to be, you know, the same thing or the same quality, so on and so forth, right? I mean, all the comedians that are there are now, old and fat or whatever, right? But it was a really good movie. Uh, I thought, they did it really well. The visuals were great. Um, it was a chuckle laugh, right? I mean, it wasn't rolling out your seat and things along those lines, but it was a really good movie. And it was good to see. And I mean, I think especially maybe it's our age showing, but a lot of the nostalgia really kind of came out seeing all these different characters being played again by Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and all the different folks.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I came into it very apprehensively. Like it was a one when they first started even hinting towards doing a second. I was like, no, don't fuck it up. Like, don't mess this up, right? And then I was like, well, how would they even, what would be the plot of a second one? Like they didn't leave it necessarily wide open for something else that could have happened. And so I was like, all right, I'm curious what that would look like. And then they started throwing around like Kevin Hart and some other folks. And I strongly dislike Kevin Hart. I just don't think he's funny. I don't think he's funny. I don't. And to see him in a movie that I really hold in such high regard, it would have killed it. And so then I was like, well, maybe they're going to do like a remake and like a 2020 version of the original. And I was like, how you gonna fuck that up? Like that's just gonna be all wrong. And so before I actually seen the movie, because unlike our other friends who said, all right, we're gonna watch this all on the same day, the same time, only half of us actually only watched it on that day. But
Mm-hmm.
before that day, Arsenio Hall did a interview on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about it, and he was like, he was strongly against it, and he was like, you know what, when they even the rumors start flying and they were going to do this, he was like, yo, like we can't mess this up, like let it happen. He said, as much as I would like a check for a second one, I'm good. Like let's just let it rock. But then Eddie was kind of, he had been pitched it and he had some ideas floating from some other folks. And so when they actually got down and threw their ideas on paper and had it written out, he was like, okay, I can get behind this. Like it made sense. It flew. It
Mm-hmm.
flowed. And so with the actual movie itself, I thought it was great. I mean, it wasn't. Are people going to be talking about Coming to America 2 in 30 years like we were talking about Coming to America the original? No. But they didn't fumble the bag at the finish line here. They produced a quality movie that can stand on its own in some regard. Now, you have to have seen the first one to catch a lot of the jokes, a lot of the kind of innuendos in that movie. So you have to have seen the first one in order to get a lot of it. But outside of that, it was a good movie. Like it wasn't over dramatized. It wasn't like it was just full of whatever. And it was all black people. It was a cast of all black people done in Atlanta, um, with the I think Tyler Perry Studios produced it and all that other good stuff. So it was black excellence at its best. And so I enjoyed it. I have to go watch it again because there's probably some parts that I missed and whatever. But I'll watch it again, and I won't be bored by watching it again either. So
No, I agree. I agree. It was a good, solid movie. Will I watch it again? I will watch it again.
yeah.
Is it the best movie of the summer? No, it's not. But but it is a really, really good movie. Um, and I just encourage anyone, all the people, all the haters that are out there, just go in with it with an open mind. It's a comedy, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the meme of the lady who is, she's part African, and so she's upset that they got lions and tigers and shit out there. Yeah, there's some viral nonsense out there, uh, where somebody was like, I hate that they depicted, Africans with lions and all these different things. And it's just like, ma'am, it's a comedy. It was kind of outrageous the first time. So if you didn't like the first one, you probably wouldn't gonna like the second one. I mean,
Right.
there was elephants and all types of stuff walking around in the
I
first one.
seen something like that. I didn't read the article, but it was like something about why do they always depict Africa as like some like jungle-ish type place. Yeah, I read the headline and I kept it moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, apparently, I mean, I saw the only reason I even said something, I'm saying something about it now is I read it the first time, I went about my business, and then it came up again. And matter of fact, I want to say it came up 2 or 3 times, so it's out there, right? And it was different from different people that
Yeah,
was coming from, um, and I just thought it was, just we're in such a just a society where people are just want to complain and nag about everything,
yeah.
everything, and it's just like, hey, can you just but unbutton your collar just a little bit and relax and have a laugh. That's it.
Well, let me ask you this. This would be a perfect segue. We didn't say we are going to talk about this. So, talk about society being so uptight. Have you been keeping up with this Dr. Seuss thing?
So I mean, I know the basic kind of issue.
Yeah.
I don't know the books that they are taking out of rotation,
Hmm.
but I will say, um, I think there were a lot of things that we didn't see as children. Like, and when I say children, I literally mean that. Like,
Yeah.
7, 8s, 9, 10, maybe even 4 or 5, that we just kind of just went along with, and we didn't see things the way that they were.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I remember, I mean, I don't mind sharing this story. I had um, a video. It was a Bugs Bunny video, and he was in blackface. I didn't think anything about it as a child,
Mm.
you know. And and he was like doing the whole, kind of like almost caveman or whatnot, not type of movements and things along those lines, and really kind of like hamming it up. And obviously, as a child, it just was what it was, and I didn't think anything different of it. It was a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a bunny, so on and so forth. Um, so I would have to, before I pass judgment on the Dr. Seuss thing, I would like to know really you know,
We're talking about.
what it was. What was the theme? What was it trying to show? Now if he has black people, which I know typically Dr. Seuss has characters or animal or kind
Yeah.
of anamorph type people, um, then I start to cringe about that because it's kind of that thing that goes along with comedy, right? Like just he's making fun of something, or
Yeah.
he's just depicting something in a particular way, and now we looking into it so deeply that you know that we're just being sensitive about it. And I don't know, so I don't know.
They said the same thing about what's his name, Walt Disney. Because if you went back and look at like Walt Disney was racist as fuck,
Walt
and
Disney was an anti-Semitic.
like he did. If you weren't a white male, he didn't care shit about you. And his
Yeah,
cartoon,
white male and Christian, and don't be Jewish going up in there.
yeah, he was all about that life. And like I said, his cartoons reflected it, but it was in a way that when we were watching it and it came up, you weren't woke enough to kind of understand the dynamic of what that looked like. But now you're going back and looking at it like, oh shit, these fools were in blackface, or they had the big red lips and they was jucking and shucking and jiving and it's a boss and everything else, and it's like, oh, that's really racist. Like, what in the world were we watching? But in the mind of a child, you don't see that. And so my thoughts are with the same thing with Dr. Seuss. And to your point, I don't know which books they're talking about. But also I know he does, like you said, he uses characters. But apparently, a lot of the wording that he uses is very racially undertoned in some of these works of art. Um, and from my understanding, it's actually the publishers or the people who own Dr. Seuss or whatever are the ones that's pulling the books. Like they're the
Hmm.
ones that's saying, you know what, fine, I got it, whatever, we'll take it off, keep it moving.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, we're coming to that. I don't know. I'm gonna say cancel culture, but I've heard that either cancel. I heard someone say we call it cancel culture, but it's not really cancel. It's holding people accountable culture is what we're.
I struggle. I struggle with that because, um, there was a time and place for kind of everything, right? And this is not to give anyone an out for anything,
Yeah.
but if it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, it's probably racist in some form or fashion, regardless.
Yeah.
you know, and my big concern is over the years have we learned from it and have we made changes from it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, what was it like last year or the year before? Um, you know, one of those famous, fashion designers had like pretty much like blackface on a shirt or
Oh,
a
was it Gucci?
sweater.
I think it was.
Okay, yeah, that's you mean these are the people that you need to be going after and being like, uh, these are the people that need to be canceled
Yeah.
because you should know better in 2020. You should know better in 2019. You should know better ever since the 2000s. Let's put it like that. Really, when it comes down to it, and the fact that one you claim that you don't know better basically tells me one of two things. One, you either don't care, or two, your team of decision makers is not diverse enough to say, hey, that don't look good. you know, and so both things you should be punished for by the market. I'm not saying that the government should be in any of this stuff. You know, don't buy these people's things. Counsel them that way. I think that's the big thing that I get frustrated about now with all of this council culture thing because everyone now, and I think it's because we're so politicized, is like we want the government involved. I don't want the government involved in things like that. I just want you just not to buy from them because you know what's going to happen when you don't buy from them. They're going to stop and they're going to try their best to pander to
Yeah.
you people after that. You know, not saying, oh man, Biden did this, so then it just riles up all the Republicans to go out and try to prove them wrong, or vice versa, because it's going to happen, right? When it gets down to politics, and we should be worrying about other things that are more important than some of these racist guys that we as people should be able to manage, opposed to the government. But that's my 2 cents on that.
No, I'm with it. It's a we are, I wouldn't say we're quick to, but we don't want to vote with our dollars. We really want to get in there and regulate it, and instead of just saying, all right, you know what, fine, Gucci, you want to play that game, and we're not gonna buy it. We're gonna go support Fubu, but we don't do that. We don't. we're so ingrained into what people are impressing other people that that's just what we're going to do. We're going to spend money we don't have in order to impress folks that who are on the same financial level as we are, right? Because we're looking for a come up. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like a. In fact, you know what? That's a perfect segue. So we were, um, as we're talking about impressing people, right? So here's a clip. Let me see if I can do this here.
This is
So
gonna be our first time, guys. This is Where's George or original content right now. No,
right
it's
here,
not
we're gonna
original.
try something different here. So if y'all don't know, Jordan Island, Atlanta. Well, I guess technically not Atlanta, but we're in the suburbs of Atlanta.
Metro. Yep.
Um, but it's All Star Weekend, right? So All Star Weekend is where you got all your ball players from every team, and you got all your people who's trying to get pregnant by a ball player, out, and you got everyone that's every man that's trying to ride on that coattails and try to catch the ones that the ball players don't want, so they can try to catch them something too, right? So there's this video going around of these young ladies that can't afford a hotel room. So what do? They go rent a U-Haul, and they hang out in the U-Haul, and that's just kind of their mode of transportation around uh for All Star Weekend. So let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see here. Share screen. That's it.
All right.
All right. What can you see?
I can see your Facebook.
Oh, but you don't see my Instagram.
I see your Instagram now. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Click on that U-Haul.
There we go. All right.
Put that full screen on there if you can. Oh boy.
So this video here, if y'all can still hear me, is literally so Lil Duval had a day party today.
He didn't got the ass.
And he invited him out. So this is
seats in the back of that bitch.
this is him inviting, or this is the girls pulling up to his day party, but I guess the police pulled him over.
She turned them up.
Let me see if I can find the video of them actually hopping out of the U-Haul. Oh, here it is here.
Mm-mm.
So, and it's not like they're bad looking young ladies, but here, I mean, literally hopped out the back of a U-Haul here. Um, at going to the club. And I'm like, is it that serious at this point to where you like if you don't have your mode of transportation, you ain't got nowhere to stay. Like why are we fronting? Why are we going through all of this in order to prove, oh, I'm here on All-Star weekends. I'm a as what's the line from workout plan? I'm gonna find me a baller.
Yeah.
Find me a baller, man. Like, are there hopes of? I mean, it looks like they have no that their only intentions, I guess, is to not have to go home in that. Like they're gonna find somebody to sleep with. I'm assuming, right? Or am I missing something?
You saw little Duval's thing there. She says she came to the All-Star game in a U-Haul and left in a rat.
Like, I mean, I don't know. And this is just this is the tip of the iceberg, because if I wish I could find the other one that showed the young ladies who, or the people, there's actually men in there too, that had $400 in their account to get down here, and that's all they had, and now they can't get back home. All they were waiting on, this check to come in, or waiting on that check to come in. Like, why can't we just live? Why is it? And I don't know if it's definitely not segregated to just black people, but why are we so hell bent on living outside of our lane? Why can't we just why can't we do that? What's up with that, man?
I don't know. I mean, it goes back to the, you know, we'd rather look cool than, you know, then be good, I guess, when it comes down to, our finances and things along those lines. Like, that's crazy. This is the first time I've seen those videos. And that gives me very like strong college vibes. Like I remember, I mean, we never went as far as buying a U-Haul, but there have been nights where I slept in cars and things like that. But it was usually my boys, right? And we weren't out trying to really go out and find any chicks, because where I'm going to take a chick if I got a U-Haul, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's just, yeah. So, I don't know why we do this to ourselves. I really don't. Like, so now all y'all got is $400 to y'all's name. You came down here. You know there was going to be 1.5 million other people out here also trying to find these same ballers, and now you're stuck. I mean,
now you stuck.
Now you're stuck. So, I mean, it goes back to that whole thing that you were saying with, we spend money that we don't have to impress people we don't know. It's crazy. And, I'm glad I was never really big into that bit, but it's a sad thing that, people go through that length. I mean, one, you're down here for the All-Star game or All-Star weekend or whatever, and you're getting. I mean, where are you taking a bath? Where are you taking a shower? What's happening right now? And I'm assuming no one has looked inside the van, but I'm assuming they have like a whole setup in there. Like, honestly, when you said U-Haul, I was thinking you were talking about the box, and like they was in there like.
No, the box cost more. They was in the van. It was cheaper in the van.
They got $20 a day out that van.
Oh man.
So it was that's crazy. That is crazy. All you people that are out of towners here in Atlanta for the All-Star game, if you don't have the money, take your tail back right now. Take your tail back. Lord Jesus.
Look at here. Did my screen pull up?
Yep.
So
she done made already $1,600.
$1,600. $1,600. This young lady got, because she was stuck here in Atlanta. She came here. I wish her story is gone now that it's over with. But this was the one that said, I came down here with $400. I was hoping, and this is why Republicans don't want to give niggas money, because her story was exactly this. I came down here with $400. I was hoping on my unemployment benefits to hit on Friday. That way I can have the money to come back. I only bought a one-way ticket. Something happened. It didn't hit. So here it is. You're unemployed, right? So you're taking your unemployment money, and I'm going to All-Star weekend. I'm ball out. Oh shit! You don't need the money then. You clearly don't need that. If you can go and spend it at All-Star weekend in Atlanta, you can hop on a flight. This young lady's from New York. She can hop on a flight and come down. Like, George.
Bro. And it's, see, these are times when it's like, I feel your pain, man. However, you made a very stupid decision. And I'm not bailing you out because of your stupid decision.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Well, somebody felt bad for her. Maybe they thought she was pretty. He was like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and slide her some money.
Bro, that is crazy. Crazy. Why? Why, ma'am? Why are you down here? Because clearly whatever you thought was gonna happen didn't really happen. Right? You wasn't gonna get much done with $400 down here anyways. Like, at this point.
That would have been just the parking right there.
Right. And so, there would have been a lot of questions I would have had. So if you got a plane ticket down here and you only have $400, spend at least $200 on that plane ticket. I mean, maybe if you had a one way, you got on Spirit or something. But I'm assuming if you got on Spirit and you take on a handbag, they're gonna charge you $1,500 for that handbag at Spirit.
That means she had
You
to
know,
wear everything that she flew down.
right. I've had these clothes on for the past, 3 4 days. I'm like, oh my god. Then where are you staying, miss?
Yeah.
Because that must mean you over here in one of these hourly hotels with $400 because you're not downtown. You're not at the Marriott Marquis. You're not at the DoubleTree. You're not at the W. None of those places.
You at the
400
house
only
with
$400.
four of your friends, all sharing a twin bed.
Bro. And just man, okay. And you bought a one-way ticket. What? Hmm. You bought a one-way ticket. You're unemployed. You're waiting on your unemployment ticket, your unemployment check to buy your ticket back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, see, they about to have to go and find my Trump hat.
It's these things that make like when we trying to argue that black people are more sophisticated than folks. We're agile, hostile, but we're educated, and then these stories make headlines. It was like, oh shit, like nigga, like why you just set us back? You know how long what's his name, Ty Young, went in that group arguing with folks all day. You just set Ty Young's argument back. Like, come on.
Oh, they about to throw that all in his face.
I don't get it, man.
She
I
was
don't.
waiting on her. They're gonna be talking about she was waiting on her Biden check and all types of stuff. It's oh miss, oh miss.
But along with
You're
that,
unemployed. You should stay home. Stay home.
it is the middle of a pandemic, right? Now, get it? I think they said 60 million people have already gotten the vaccine here in the United States. Great, right? We still got 300 million people in here, so we got a while to go. However, if in true Atlanta fashion, now I think we said this the other week, but Texas and Mississippi and a lot of states are already open in full staff, 100%, whatever. And us here in Atlanta are like, okay, like we never close. Like at what I know at one point, Bottoms was fighting with what's the governor name? Kemp, back
Yep.
and forth about whose powers can do what. And she tried. She tried, but you can't, for some odd reason, we just can't hold, people back from wanting to do what they're gonna do. So clubs were opening back up after the first couple months, and everything's back to normal. So here's a video of a club. I don't know what club it is. It's probably like Privé or something to that effect, one of them big name clubs here in Atlanta. And just give you a taste of what it's like being living in Atlanta during this pandemic here. I'm gonna show y'all this. All right, don't fail me now, technology. There we go. All right, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm perplexed. Like I don't know. It's look, even someone in the comments, Atlanta's been open since the beginning of the pandemic. It is true though. Like look at all these people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There
And
was another video. There was another video that was even closer where you could see all those folks. Uh, yeah. I mean, people was hanging on top of one another. It was a full blown concert or whatever. I don't even know who was over there doing their thing, but the stage was packed, and the floor was packed. It was
ain't not a single person. I mean, you got people, random folks in there with masks, but I mean, hell, you got COVID left and right of you. Like, I mean,
right, right. And you know what? This is the part that frustrates me too. Black people, that they're gonna show this.
oh
And
yeah,
now they're not gonna show the country bar up the street that might be doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna show them. They're gonna show us out here. Uh, what? Uh, yeah. Oh Lord. I mean, we just have to do better, folks. We got to do better.
We do.
Got to do better. Is it that important to stunt? I understand we are nearing the end, but it's not over with yet. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That is my problem.
We
So
can see that we can see the finish line, or at least we can see some sign of progress. And it's like, you know what? Bump it. You know, like it's like we've made it this far. And I say we've made it this far. We've lost 500,000 lives. So it's in a sense that, I get it. It's been trying. It's being inside, or not necessarily interacting with the people that you love, or having to be socially distant, and having to, wear your mask when you go home and visit family. I get it. Like, it sucks, but for some odd reason we just can't see the bigger picture things. And I don't know if it's just us as Americans, because it seems like every other country has figured it out in some way or shape or form. But for us, it's like we just don't understand the value of someone else's life. Like, we want to take it into our own hands and like, well, every man for himself at this point. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, we there were I had a conversation with a guy, and he brought up a really deep perspective, right? He was an older gentleman, and he said, I can't remember whose podcast he was talking about. He was listening to, but he said basically, the reason that we're kind of freaking out and we don't understand what to do during this pandemic is because we don't live to 100 years old. And I said, that's interesting, because it's true, right? Like, we really don't understand what we're doing.
yeah,
We're not taking it seriously. People are still dying. All these different things. Now, if there were people, or if we had even a fair amount of people that live to be 100, within 100 years, we've had Spanish flu, which was the pandemic before ours.
hmm
And at that point in time, we had masks on, and people were doing it, and it wasn't a big deal because, I mean, I believe we were smarter as people, really, when it came down to it, and we cared a little bit more about people. Maybe not everyone, but people in general.
yeah,
Let me just qualify that before someone says, "What do you mean we cared more about people?" Probably cared more about people, even if it was just in your circle and things along those lines. And I mean, what I I just fear for, we what in the last couple of weeks or so, we've had the first couple of weeks where we've declined in cases, or at least they've dropped, or maybe the death toll has dropped or something along those lines.
has it? I didn't know
I
that.
mean, honestly,
I didn't know that.
say again? Yeah. I mean, there were finally numbers are starting to kind of plateau and things along those lines. Now, that's not going to be true. There's
Yeah.
people from all over the place there, right? There's going to be folks from Atlanta, obviously. It's going to be people from New Orleans, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, all these different places that have basketball teams, or people who have the means to come down, hang out, catch all this COVID. Because one, you're gonna feel great today. All those people, tomorrow are gonna feel okay. It's not gonna be until a week after they've been around all their people, after they've gone to work, after they've gone to church, gone to all these different places, that they're gonna get a little scratchy throat, watery eyes. All of a sudden they can't taste anything, and then they say, "Oh crap, I've got COVID." Yeah. Oh crap, you've also, infected all these other people also.
hmm
Come on, man. Like, you just gotta think and be mindful. And you know what? And a part of me wants to blame the NBA, because I felt like they did such a good job with the bubble the first time. Like, bro, just do the same thing again, and you know, and just
And that's what LeBron was saying. He was like, "Yo, this is a pointless game. Like, a pointless. We could have had this after the season was over with. We
right.
could have done this then." Like why do we need to have it now? That way we could have had all the parties and all the hoopla that goes along with All-Star Weekend. And instead of, hey, we're just gonna push this and keep it moving. Well, we're not gonna sell tickets to the games, or we're not gonna have fan events. Clearly, it's Atlanta. They're gonna party. You knew this was gonna happen. You knew it. Oh, we're gonna tell the players they can't go to parties. Okay, so they're just gonna go out and have their little boys go to the parties and pick out the chicks that they want to have come back to the room. You know, come
Right.
on, we all fooling.
You got too much money, too much hoopla coming to the city. I mean, there are people that will be that are willing to go down and hang out downtown all the time just for a glimpse of someone.
Yeah,
A glimpse of LeBron, a glimpse of Kevin Durant, all these guys. But it's not worth it. And people, and unfortunately, uh, as much as we want to cancel people and
yeah.
everything, we don't want to hold ourselves accountable when it comes to our actions when we do stupid stuff like this. And that's the sad part,
It's our people, man. Day every day.
unfortunately. Well, I mean, it's not all our people, but yeah, I mean, I just hate. I hate that that's going to be the example. That's going to be the video. Once again, I fully believe. Hell, matter of fact, I don't believe. I know that there were some bars full of white people that were just as packed in and having just as good of time.
Oh
But they
yeah,
are not going to show those folks, and they are not going to make them the example. We're always the example. This is the things that I'm talking about when it comes to the media and everything along those lines. We're the example. Hell, matter of fact, I went and picked up dinner right before we went over and watched the movie, Texas Roadhouse, packed out. Couldn't find a parking spot almost in the place. Nobody's going over with a video showing how many people was in Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, but they will show you at I don't even know what's up. Is a I don't know, Primal or Gold Room or whatever.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah,
you know, packed out, having a great grand time. And then all the Trumpites, here they come. Oh, well, I guess COVID doesn't exist during All Star Weekend. No, come on, man, stop it. So I don't know.
The reality of it is, it's just that, I mean, like it's I don't know, man. They're gonna make like you said, they're gonna make an example of us. And say, and even when it came back to the, how they say, oh, well, we were doing fine with Corona until the riots happened. I had a coworker tell me that the other day, and I'm like, all right, I don't want to engage in that type of conversation with you, sir. Here at work, but I'm like, really? Like we were just fine with it until the riots happening. So
Right.
yeah,
You're gonna have to define what fine means. What does
yeah,
just doing fine mean? Nothing was getting better. Everything was getting worse. We weren't doing anything in
no,
Georgia. And I will have to say, as a resident of Georgia, uh, it is. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just a clear divide, right? It's those who believe in it and those who don't.
hmm,
And that's just what it is. And are these times when the government should step in? I will have to say yes. And you know how I'm not necessarily all about the government stepping into everything, but it's a public safety thing at this point. You know, I would rather you protect me, who cares about whether or not my family gets it,
yeah,
than such and such who thinks they're too good to wear a mask because they breath stink and they can't wear a mask too long. Hey, that don't have nothing to do with me. I just need you not to spread your corona. You know, so
keep that room to yourself.
they take you a breath mint and put that mask on. Go in and get your your little beef jerky and things along those lines. And that be who is this?
This is Gillard King. So you can't hear him, but he's gonna pan over, and you're gonna see a bunch of your folks out here in Atlanta at a hotel downstairs, scaring all these white people over there. What are they doing? What do you think they're doing? Bunch of black people in a circle.
Oh Lord, they're shooting dice over there, ain't
They're
they?
shooting dice in the middle of the W in Atlanta. Look at all these white people. White people just like, oh, we're just gonna kick it, hang out. We're gonna sit here and drink, and they over there shooting dice in the corner. I I can't call it, man. I don't know what to say. Like shooting dice in the bottom of the W. I mean, this is a what I'm sure at this during this time it's $1,000, $2,000 a night hotel room easy.
Yep.
And
Somebody over there trying to get rent, trying to get their one night in.
and
Lord Jesus.
I,
You know,
I don't know. It's oh black people, black people, black people. We got
got
we
to do
got to
better.
do better, man. We can't be sitting
Do
here.
better.
We can't be sitting here just like reinforcing all of these stereotypes. Like I get it. Like it's fun to do hood rat stuff with your friends sometimes, but um shooting dice at the bottom of the W, like I don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah. 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 I don't know what to say about that. Besides, we got to do better. That's all I can say. You know.
Oh well, I don't know. We'll I guess we can as we wrap it up here, we can I'll say this. Don't listen to anyone who said Coming to America was trash too, because they clearly either didn't enjoy the first one as much or they just came in with different expectations. See it for yourself and enjoy it. And the other part is stay home. Well, I say All Star Weekend's over with now. Go home, quarantine for some weeks. Make sure you ain't passing COVID on to your loved ones, and just save up your money for next year. Who knows what it's going to be next year? I don't know. I'm sure they probably already announced it. Maybe Charlotte or something like that. Save your money. Rent out an Airbnb. Hell, you can rent. Can't you rent out an Airbnb a year in advance or something now? Like start.
I think some of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You can do a hotel a year in advance.
yeah. Lock it in now. Save your money.
Yeah.
Lock in your stuff now and get you a ball of man next year. Like now there's gonna be a whole new a whole new crop of young NBA players that's gonna come in there with a bunch of money in their pocket and they ready to spend it because they want to ball out.
Yeah. And don't shoot dice in the bottom of the W or any other fancy place
Take it to your room.
where you're right. Right.
Take it to your
Like
room,
respectable people.
let it recording you because you look foolish. So that's my 2 cents. What's your closing statements, George?
I agree. Coming to America was good. For all these people who are disrespecting the culture, you all also need to put into your next viewing, I guess, repertoire or things along those lines. Judas and the Black Messiah, great movie, excellent movie, deep movie. So take some time and go and watch that. Also, go and watch United States versus Billie Holiday. Andrea Day was first, what was it, black actress to win the Golden Globe. I don't know if it was leading actress or supporting actress or however it goes, but it was a really solid movie as well. I don't know much about Billie Holiday as far as her story is concerned. But I think she did a really good job, especially for someone who's not necessarily, someone who's not known as an actress, right?
Yeah.
She's a singer. But I think she did a really good job of playing, playing Billie Holiday. What is the other one? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Please go and see that. That was yeah. That's Chadwick Boseman's last film that he was in. That movie, of all three of them, and it's not even like, it's not as biographical as the other two, but it was a good good movie, and Chadwick acts his butt off. And so I think that's what he won. He actually won a Golden Globe for that performance as well. But it was, I mean, it's a must. It's a must watch. So there you go. Alongside of Coming to America needs to be with that group. It is the lightest of the bunch. Gives you the ha-has, gives you the nostalgia, things along the other those lines. Watch the other group. I mean, watch the other videos. Uh, because I mean they're a little bit deeper. That's just what it is. They're a little bit heavier, but still solid movies. So, that's my kind of final take on that. And like we gotta do better. Stop giving all these white people ammunition to just throw back at us, you know, things along those lines.
Did you
And
hear
huh?
that? What's that? American. What was the movie? The
Which
dude
one?
who did Nat Turner. Um, Shay, what was that movie? What the guy who's his son got American Skin? Did you ever see that yet?
Mm-mm. I have not seen it. What platform is it on?
I think on Prime. Now that one I think they made you pay for.
Okay, that's probably why I hadn't seen it because I'm cheap.
Yeah, I think it's on Prime, which is weird that they made you pay for that, and then not you didn't have to pay for Coming to America. Because I absolutely would have paid for Coming to America. Um, but anywho, yeah, it's on Prime, $3.99. Go ahead and take your stimmy check when that comes in, and we can get in and get.
I'm gonna do a GoFundMe to go and watch the movie.
So yeah, I want to go see American Skin. I need to raise $3.99. Come on in and support your brother. But again, it's a hard movie to swallow at certain parts of it, but I think it's tastefully done. So check it out.
Okay. Okay. Put that on your watch list.
Absolutely.
So, all right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Until next week, I guess Friday, we'll try this all again, and we'll see what happens during the week.
Till the end of this week.
End of this week.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all
All
have a
right,
good
folks.
and